Hello everyone. In the last video we had a look at measures of spread and there we saw the concept of quartiles and interquartile range. In this video we're going to have a look at how we can make a graph, a chart for these quartiles, which is going to be called a box plot. As you see, I have pretty much the same example on my screen right now. I've changed it slightly so we have an even amount of data, making it a little easier to work with. So our first step will be to find our median and quartiles again. And this time let's do that without writing out all those numbers. So starting out with the median, and after that we will look at what this box plot is, what it looks like, how to make it. Now our median is our middle value. I have 24 entries. So my middle is between 12 and 13. Then I have 12 on either side. Well, if we start with 2, 4, and 6, that's 12. So my 12th and 13th entry are 6 and 7. So my median is in between, that's 6.5. Then my quartiles are the middles, the medians of the first 12 and the second 12. So for that first 12, that would be between the 6th and the 7th value. So if we look in our table, 2 and 4, that makes to the 6th value. The 6th value is 5. 7th value is 6. So my first quartile is 5.5 between 5 and 6. My third quartile in that second 12 will be between 18 and 19. Again, 6 on both sides. Okay, so with 6 over here, we had our 12th entry, so here we jump all the way until 17, which means both my 18th and 19th value are 8, so my third quartile is 8. That's a bit of an idea of how can we do this without always having to write it out, because sometimes we just have too much data. Anyways, okay, we have our median, our first quartile, and our third quartile. And we also know, of course, that our data run from 4 to 9. And we want to have all that information captured into one picture. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a number line. And I'm going to make my number line slightly longer than the data I have. So let's say from 3 to 10. I don't have grid lines here. I can work with a ruler, but it's very impractical. Of course, in your notebook, you would use your grid lines and you would use your geotriangle. But I mark all the numbers. For my number line. Then I start marking my quartiles. So I have my first quartile at 5.5. And my third quartile at 8. I'm just going to make a box out of that. I know I've started at 4, so I want to have that in there as well. And I end at 9, so let's put that in there as well. Lastly, I have my median, and I just draw a line there at 6.5. This way, all this information is captured. I can see that my range goes from 4 to 9. I can see that my quartiles go from 5.5 to 8, and I can see that my median right there in the middle is at 6.5. So this chart is what we call a box plot because of the box that I draw for my quartiles. But there's something really neat about this. And because I may not always have this table, I might only get this bar chart, this box plot, not a bar chart, box plot. And I can still read off quite a bit from this. Because if my median is the middle value, then this part is 50% of my data. It splits it up into parts of 50%. But also my quartiles are the middles of those halves. So this part is 25%. This part is 25%, very messily. And of course, the middle parts as well. Meaning, and that is usually the most useful information, that everything inside the box is also 50%. And that is usually the most useful information that you get from your box plot. It tells you where the middle half is. It tells you that the average, that half of your values are between 5.5 and 8. And that is the logic that you will often be using with your box plots. I guess this is all I'm going to say about this. In the exercises, you're going to be practicing both with drawing your box plots and with analyzing them using these percentages to get useful information. So good luck with that.